Hey.
Hey,
It's fitting with what you said.
what a wow, water. Huh? What's up?
She said stop.
Oh, I thought she said what's up. Oh, okay. Welcome to another live episode of the Love Brew podcast. Thank you, Lily. I'm your host Tommy T,
I'm Artika.
and that's Artika. And today is Saturday morning, and we're here. No, because we're doing something. Don't you openly see us doing something?
She does. She don't care. We froze.
Huh?
Can y'all see us? Cause we froze on my feed.
Oh, over there.
Yeah.
Oh, we good over here.
Okay.
Um,
Good morning, Sharon. Happy Saturday. Looks like it's gonna be a rainy one round here.
yeah.
Good morning,
Good morning,
cousin.
cousin.
It's funny. Deshauna doesn't have a name anymore. She's just cousin.
Mm.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
So we have a backup computer, and I don't know where the
Good
charger is
morning,
to the
Karen
backup
from
computer.
Cali. I've never been, but plan to go.
And we froze over there. That's why I was making sure y'all could see us. And good morning, Karen.
Um, yeah. So rainy Saturday. It's been a week. It's been an interesting week.
Yeah, has it?
Very interesting week. Man, we need to dust that thing.
I haven't been around as many kids as I was yesterday.
Oh yeah,
All
Lily's
year.
Lily's field day.
Yeah.
Looked like a good old family reunion
So yeah,
to the beach.
Lily, for some reason, her teachers wanted them to. I shouldn't say for some reason, but they used that the kids should use bring beach towels and sunscreen. And she was like, "We going to the beach," and I was like, "We're not.
Mhm.
We're going to school."
We going to the ship.
But
We going to the ship.
Lily's school did field day yesterday. It was supposed to be 3 days of field day, and it turned into just 2 days. Because we've been getting a lot, and I do mean a lot of rain here in Metro Atlanta. But um, so this is my first time doing an outdoor field day as a parent. Last year, her school, their field day got rained out, so they just kind of dispersed the kids throughout the school. So the pre-K kids, which is the grade she was in last school year, were just in the library. This year, they were supposed to divide it up: kindergarten and first grade, second and third grade, fourth and fifth grade do field day together. So those are the 3 days. And they ended up doing kindergarten through second grade together. And my goodness, it looked like we were at a black family event.
Mhm.
Like, I have never just seen so many, like, I won't say I've never, because obviously I've been to a lot of fun, family oriented, non related events, right? But it was some dads out there on the grill. They had a DJ, they had food trucks, they had people doing snow cones, and everybody was truly just like looking out for all the other kids.
Mhm.
Like, I brought a cooler full of waters, and the lady next to me, like, I sat in a tent next to her, she had a wagon, like one of the sports wagons, and it was filled to the top, just snacks. She had chips, she had gummy bears, she had Kool-Aid jammers, she had like everything in there. And it was just like another mom that was from Lily's class had just cookies. Like, she was pulling cookies out. Remember how my brother pulled that beer out? And you was like, "Where did that come from?"
Mhm.
That's what she was doing with cookies.
Mm.
She was like, "Well, what kind you want?" And I'm like, what kind you got? I didn't even end up eating any cookies. This was for Lily. But
Lily, go ahead, man.
she
Go
was like,
back.
I got these, I got
Go back.
these, I got those. And I was like, all
Go back.
right then.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Mm-mm. Go ahead.
I'll talk to you when we get done. She is really upset. But yeah, the kids had an amazing time. Several of her classmates took home ribbons. Because they had like real field day events. The only event that they didn't end up doing was tug of war. And I don't know why they didn't do that one. But they were out there from like 8 a.m. to like almost 1 p.m. Just kids running, jumping, sweating, having a blast. One mom, that was a mom from Lily's class, told me that the daughter that's in Lily's class is child number 4, and she still has one more baby at home. And I was like, girl, bless you, because these kids be getting on my nerves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you got 4 kids. I mean, 5 kids, but it was just like they had fun, good time. Next year, I'll plan much better for the activities and the festivities because all I bought was waters and gummy bears.
Yeah.
But you could tell the vets in the game. That's where we got the grills at.
Mm-hmm.
And the coach at the end, and he got on the mic when they started playing Gracie's Corners cleanup song. He got on the mic and he was like, "Hey, I know y'all on that grill better have me a steak."
Right. I have something.
But he really was out there running them kids. Like you can tell he enjoys his job,
Good morning, Miss
but
T.
he was out there getting it with them little kids.
Yeah.
And Lily just la 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 la
Mm-hmm.
la la la.
Yeah.
Here's a flower.
You gotta stop saying her name. We gonna give her a nickname or code name on here, man.
Oh, okay. Because she looked at.
Cause she be looking, be trying to get over here and everything. I'll be like, man,
I'm gonna do like Dion, girl child.
yeah, the girl child.
Anywho, what did you do this week?
I went to work.
You was off one day.
Yeah, but I went to work.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Done
Not
talking to you.
very.
Done
Uh,
talking to you.
it wasn't very eventful for me. Um,
That's the only event I had.
life be lifing in the middle of the week, man. You know, you try to like, all right, I'm gonna get this done, and then you like, nah, I didn't get to it, you know, or something else happens or something like that. Lily, Lily is a God. You making me say it. Code name girl child.
And then she would get on here and start whispering.
Yeah, she would she would do a goofy smile, and then she wouldn't say too many words.
Mm-mm,
But then be all in the video,
mm-mm. Don't compare my baby to that.
all in the video
Don't
and
compare my
stuff.
baby to that.
I ain't comparing her to him, but I'm saying
I'm saying that.
she be in the video,
Period.
just in the
Um,
way.
yeah.
Um, I ain't have no random questions this week or
I
anything.
did.
What?
Okay, so I have to set it up to get an answer. Y'all know Tom Joyner still does the Fantastic Voyage, even though he isn't on the radio anymore. My question was a two-parter. One, who is a nationally syndicated radio host that could pull together an event like that? One. And then two, what artists of our time period would actually be somebody you would want to see on a cruise ship?
Mine was T Pain.
You did say T-Pain.
I'm on a boat. Would have to be a song that he sings.
Okay.
Um, it's funny, man, that you bring that up, and I think about T Pain. I was looking for something to for our house party yesterday,
Mm.
and I was like, what can we listen to that's not too, you know, left field, but also,
And you pick I'm in love with a stripper.
yeah, right. I was
That
like,
ain't too left field.
I was like, T Pain is good. You know, he got an upbeat thing, and it's not too like slow for me,
You
but
know
it's
what's a top 5 T-Pain song for me?
well,
Stomach.
six pack, four pack. I don't really know that I'm in
Exactly.
love with your
I
smile.
don't know if Michael Baisden is still on the air. I know he's still. I
Yeah,
thought he was like podcasting now.
yeah.
Let me see. BAIS. I'm not a water person, so I won't be going.
You sound like my cousin. She,
No, we
but she,
got her going on a
she
cruise
be
with us.
waving at us from the shore.
We did a family like dinner cruise one year for a family reunion, and she showed up to the city and was like, "I'll see y'all when y'all get back."
Hmm.
But
I do. Yeah, she sure did.
we have a cruise that we're going on this year, and she's actually going to go on that cruise with us, which I
Yeah,
am shocked.
yeah.
She was like, "I'm in my 70s now. I gotta start living." I was like, "Okay, mama." Let me see.
But yeah, we was man, that jump was so funny, man. And I was like, is T Pain old school now?
Yeah,
Like,
I
cause you know
guess.
how we looked at
Oh, when TJ said Aaliyah was old school, I was like, "Shut the
I
front
didn't
door."
I didn't hear that part.
He was in high school when he told me that. So
Yeah,
this has only been a couple of
yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
But I was like, "Get out of here."
Is Aaliyah old school? Like, you gotta look now. We 20 years out of high school.
And she died like 25 years
Yeah.
ago. So yeah, I get fat on
Me
cruises.
too, man. I trying to control that.
Let me tell you, I have already told Tommy this will be our second family cruise. And I was like, the first time we didn't understand the ropes. But now we know what you can and can't do. And
Yeah.
I'm finna go to dinner every night saying, let
Man,
me get the lobster
man,
and the steak.
I ain't know we could do that, man. And shoot, man.
We was a lot thinner back then though.
Yeah. I'm gonna get down to it, man.
But that's part of the plan is definitely to eat good and to make sure that the kids have fun. But
Hmm.
um I was seeing that there was like some cruise that actually, if y'all don't know, I sell travel, so travel agent adjacent, not a full-time thing, just something I do in my spare time. But I was doing a training with Carnival, and my training with Carnival led me to no, I started on Royal Caribbean and then I moved to Carnival. And doing those trainings, it led me to look at like their cruise options, like how people will go and sell out, like
Hmm.
block off to do like their own custom sailing. So nobody but the people that they're doing are going on it. Then I saw one with Tom Joyner. I was like, Tom Joyner still cruising?
Who's Regina?
What is Regina's last name? Jesus. I don't know why I'm drawing a
You
blank.
said how old is Tom Cruise? I'm not,
Tom
not
Joyner.
Tom Jordan.
Tom Joyner's definitely
Tom Cruise is old too.
75. 75. I was about to say he in his 70s, but he's
I don't mean
75.
old, but he's a classic too.
Regina Bell. That's who it is. I'm
Is
like,
she an actor?
a
Actress?
singer. That's why she said I
what
go.
did she sing?
Regina Bell's song is that you would know. Baby Come to Me. Baby Come to Me.
Oh, when I put my arms
I mean, no,
around
that's not
you,
it.
never be.
That's not it. That's not her song.
Oh, it's not. Whose song is that?
But Baby Come to Me is one of her songs.
How?
She did a whole new world in Aladdin. That's her voice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. You know that song? I
yeah,
know you just watched Aladdin.
yeah. The newer
But
version though.
yeah, but you
Yeah,
know the song.
I got
Um
you.
the way the
that
way
doesn't make me
Shaka
want
looked
her.
at verses, I don't know if I want to see Shaka sing on the cruise ship, but me and Shaka could definitely go to the bar.
That's funny. That's funny.
um Patty wouldn't have nothing to do with us. She would fly back out after her set.
Off the boat.
Off the boat. Like as soon as we got to the next island, she would be like, well, y'all, that's my time.
Hmm.
I'm gone. Um, and little bitty Stephanie. You know, Stephanie Mills like
Oh
Renee height.
yeah,
She
that's
might be
funny.
shorter than Renee.
Sure, like I've been on one. I'm good with that.
So Sharon, what was your issue? Is it knowing that you're on the water, or was it like y'all were in a storm, or what happened? I always want to know like the one and doneers of things because my brother, one of my brothers, doesn't cruise and he doesn't fly. He was like, I'm gonna go to California. And I was like, how you gonna get there? Cause I'm not gonna be in the car with you for 3
I ain't
days.
gonna drive. That's how you gonna get there.
Nah, he because he asked me, did I want to go? And I was like, absolutely not, because you're gonna be in a moving vehicle that you're gonna be controlling. I don't I want to be there already. Like I want
Yeah.
to get up in the morning and be there by afternoon.
Where are we going on this cruise that that they would be performing at? Because that's important too.
They perform on the ship.
I'm just saying, like, but where are we going? Like, we not like they not the. I wouldn't go if it was just we're gonna be on a boat
Oh no, it's still a
and
regular cruise itinerary.
oh okay.
So let's go ahead. Tommy don't want to go to the Bahamas no more.
I don't.
But say they was going
I really
to
want to see something else.
say they was going to Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Would you go on it?
I don't know.
Who would be
Haiti's
your
having a hard time
okay? The
now.
DR, or actually, let's take the DR off then. I feel like so we started navigating European cruises recently, or at least I did. I think it was knowing you're surrounded, and
Sharon,
I felt dizzy the whole
Sharon,
time.
just wave at us from the shore.
Bye, y'all. See y'all when y'all get back.
What they say, boy voyage,
Bon
bon voyage.
voyage.
Oh, bon. You remember the telephone service voyage,
No.
or it's
Is it
a
Vonage?
it might be Vonage.
Yeah.
I had that in
I
college.
remember you telling me that. You and Reggie had that
And let me
conversation.
tell you about Reggie, man.
she waved.
uh, so I got Vonage at the
Mhm.
crib. Vonage is an old telephone service that was
Apparently, we keep going back to old telephones.
yeah,
Remember last time we were talking about
Bell South.
Southwestern Bell?
Bell South.
Uh
Was
huh.
it Bell South?
Yeah.
Yeah. Singular one and all that stuff. But no, it just popped up in my head as random as I know. Now, so Reggie is one of my closest friends that I met. First person I met when I went off to school. And he was the best man in my wedding. And just solid guy, good guy. We was roommates in college and everything. So I have we got this apartment. I have Vonage, the telephone service. It's a VoIP, so it's over the internet. Man, I come home one day. Reggie's sitting on the couch because it's a cordless phone. Reggie's sitting on the couch on the cordless phone, like he in high school or something, talking to somebody, just keying. You hear me? And I was like, "Sir,
That's my phone.
man, if you get off my phone, man."
Did you have a cell phone too?
No, that's
That
why I
was your
had.
cell
Yeah, that was
phone.
yeah.
Okay.
Because of course my phone was off at that time, so I
Okay.
got Vonage. Saved me some money. It was like $8 or something. I was like, all right, I'll do that.
I never outside of the dorm room.
Yeah.
I never had a
Oh man,
landline in college.
that jump was so funny,
Remember,
man.
we used to only have to dial 5 digits to get each other,
Yeah.
and then none of us actually had a phone in the room after
Good
freshman
morning,
year.
Patricia. Yeah,
Good morning.
man, that
Uh,
jump's so funny, man. To me,
it was a time to be, and we are still frozen over here.
are we?
Yes.
Oh, it's still
um.
rolling though. So
Yeah.
that junk, I'm gonna call him and let him know,
So
bro.
you got T Pain.
Yeah.
Who would be the DJ though?
Uh, I would love to see Jazzy Jeff.
No, 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 not
Oh,
DJ. Like Tom Joyner
oh,
was
who?
like the
Oh, okay.
figurehead. Like this Tom
Hubert.
Joyner's
Man, you need
Fantastic Voyage. Who would be the today equivalent of replacing Tom Joyner on a
Ricky Smiley.
cruise? You think so?
Mm-hmm. Ricky Smiley. Um,
I forgot Ricky Smiley was syndicated.
the only
I
other
don't
people
listen
I
to
would,
him.
yeah, I don't listen to him, but he's like Ricky Smiley would be the perfect replacement for Tom
Because who
Joyner.
else do you have that's syndicated
Only
on
thing I
radio
can
right
think
now?
of is the Breakfast Club, but I wouldn't want to. They wouldn't draw me to do a cruise.
Ricky Smiley, The Breakfast Club, Steve Harvey,
Steve Harvey,
and then
but Steve Harvey wouldn't drive me to do a cruise either.
no, I'm not talking about to drive you to do a cruise. I'm just saying who's the big things, the big like radio personalities.
But as far as I go, if you get YouTube Music to do what, you
NPR,
right,
Tiny Desk.
Tiny Desk. They be out there with an acoustic guitar on the boat, and everybody just singing "Kumbaya" and stuff. Kirk Franklin.
Kirk Franklin is a part of where this came from because they're doing a cruise with Kirk Franklin is one of the musical acts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. To host it.
It's called Rise and Rhythm. So it has Kirk Franklin, David and Tamala Mann, Ty Tribbett. Is very gospel.
Yeah.
Layla Hathaway, Kiera Sheard, Leela James, Kendrick and the Family Soul, Jonathan McReynolds, and then they have speakers, which is Tabitha and Chance Brown, Tamar Braxton, Egypt Sherrod and her husband Mike Jackson, Dr. J Barnett, and Willie Moore Jr. People who still listen to terrestrial radio use their birth certificate to go on cruises. I'm not gonna argue with you there. That is very valid. I remember when I was telling somebody recently that I got the kids' passports, and they was like, "Why you ain't just let them cruise with their birth certificates?" I was like, "Because a cruise is not their final destination
Right.
on travel. Like we gonna go
Um,
somewhere else."
I'm trying to think of a comedian that hosts things really well. Um, Nobody pops up. If Nate Jackson did a cruise, I would be like, all right, man. As long as they ain't going to the Bahamas,
See,
I'll be
I
like, all
haven't
right.
seen Nate Jackson actually do comedy. It's just crowd work.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I be wanting. Cause I guess it's because I enjoy that type. Like that's what I grew up on.
Mhm.
But I guess they
That's
put,
why you like the 85 South show.
yeah,
Because they're just doing crowd work.
right. And I love it because it's like I I remember in high school, I was a little short, skinny kid, glasses, acne real bad, and I would just be in the circle. You guys mark about this. Be in the circle and just laughing at people. It's before we like school started. Be in this little circle,
It's
man.
gonna be a fight at the department on this road. It ain't carnival. Didn't they just had a
They
fight? Like
did
they
just have
just
a fight.
banned like 20 people
They did
from
just have a
carnival.
big fight on Carnival.
I think that was pouring out of like Galveston or New Orleans. One of
Man,
them two.
check-in sessions was man, them junks used to be so funny
I'm
to
not
me.
gonna pay you to talk about
No,
me.
I'm just you talk about somebody else. I'ma laugh.
I'm
It's
not
all
gonna pay
fun
you.
and games
Not gonna pay you to talk about
until somebody gets their feelings hurt.
me. Mhm.
Um, but nah, like I think comedians do well at hosting things. You know what cruise I wouldn't go on?
What?
A Diddy cruise.
That's not even an option. So there's that.
Oh, I would not go on the Diddy cruise at all, man.
Not even an
Not the
option.
diddler.
Um, so what's really interesting is my mama don't be caring about nothing when it comes to like
Yeah.
pop culture. But she has been tuned in on this Diddy trial.
Hubert and his names.
What
The
Carnival is the
Greyhound of the
Greyhound of the Sea.
Seas.
So I was watching something on YouTube. It was me trying to figure out about this Greece cruise.
Yeah.
Um
Greyhound of the Seas is funny.
and I
Let me
was
see you
like
say
the
Megabus.
the vibes are very different
Yeah.
from like Caribbean cruises versus the European cruises.
Yeah. Lunel.
I don't
I don't
think
know.
Lunel is funny.
I don't either.
Like she's just never been
Yeah.
my cup of tea. Like I think she has a place in comedy. I wouldn't buy a ticket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, the woman comic that I would pay money to see would be Takara.
Yeah.
I think
I
Takara
think
is
I think
hilarious.
she would do well as far as like hosting.
Oh, she would do a
Cause
great job
she
hosting.
hosts what is it, chocolate Sundays
Mhm.
now? Or something.
Mhm.
So I think she'll do well. Um but I think comics naturally would do better.
Comics do well at hosting because it's their job to get the crowd engaged,
Yeah,
get them
yeah,
together.
yeah. So um speaking
Ooh.
of the diddler, you was talking about your
Oh,
mom.
my mom was like, she called me yesterday and she said, "So what you know about day 5?"
That's what day we on?
Yeah,
Oh,
because I was telling her that I follow a writer who doesn't typically cover like legal things, but she reads through the transcripts and she provides
yeah.
like
A breakdown.
basically a breakdown of this
Yeah.
is what happened. This is who went on the stand today. This is who's talking. I mean, this is what they said, and this is who's up next. And I was like, we be up here comparing notes. Well, what you hear? No, who
Mm-mm.
you hear? Because she be watching somebody on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure of who she watches.
Mm.
But then Tommy be like, I'm gonna see what Lauren LaRosa
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. I just, I think she like. First off, I think she like the job that she has. They should have done that. Like
Hmm.
that was the right move for her. But now she,
If Diddy goes to prison, Cassie needs some prison time too.
that's what I was figuring out this week. I was like, so is Cassie, uh, did she work out some like immunity deal or something like that? Because I mean, like she's incriminating herself as well as far as like the is it Rico or it's
Of the
what,
racketeering.
yeah, whatever, the we get the person at the top and everybody else is, it sounds like she should be going too. but
Um.
but they're trying to her people painted her as a victim
Mhm.
in the beginning. Well, I don't mean to quotation mark the thing, but
Mhm.
they painted her as a victim. But the
A victim as opposed to an accomplice.
yeah, and the defense is like, but you wanted to do these.
Mhm.
This is what you, and it gets into the DV of things,
Mhm.
you know. Because I was listening to somebody say, ask, oh man, this was crazy. Somebody, I was listening to somebody talk about it, and they was like, ask a DV woman when she tried to leave. Like
Mhm.
the
Oh, that's what I was telling you about.
was it?
Yeah. Somebody online was like, um, Cassie stayed around for 10 years. Why didn't she just leave? And she said, ask a woman that has been a victim of domestic violence what happened when they attempted to leave. She was like, actually, I can tell you one. My aunt, she's in the cemetery. You want the address?
Mm,
She tried to leave with my cousin, and now both of them are dead,
yeah,
thanks to my uncle.
yeah,
So it was it was one of those things where it's like you get both sides of it, as far as people are like, well, you should have just left. But it's also like, it's not always that simple.
yeah.
Like you and I were talking about the aspect of them. I think it was when they were talking about like her being able to get other jobs because of like being affiliated with him and everything. And she was like, I would get jobs, but I couldn't go to them. And it's like, if he has the control of telling people, hey, she not
Yeah,
doing this.
yeah.
Then she started working with him when she was like 19.
Mm-hmm.
What employable skills does she have?
None.
And I'm not saying that
She
she,
can. She was a singer.
yeah. But I mean, now again, because we looked at actual singers with careers like SWV, for example, when they fell off and weren't touring anymore, they was working like cashiering jobs.
Like
Like they went and got regular jobs.
like the thing we talked about. Like I've talked about all week with people is Diddy.
Mhm. But the
Like
thing is that she feared for her safety because, like, when you look at the thing with Kid Cudi and him blowing up his car, telling them that he will blow up the
and
car
then
and then doing it.
and then said asking him about it, and then said what car, and ended the comment like let's not act like Diddy is not a major player in the music industry because he is
Mhm. Or was.
or was. You know, we like 90s we saw him on his rise, and in the 2000s, man, he's that guy.
Mhm.
You want to be able to work with Diddy and get the approval of Diddy. And here goes Cassie, 19-year-old girl. Um, and he basically like drug infused. And somebody was talking about, I don't remember who I listened to. 'Cause I listened to a bunch of it.
Mhm.
Somebody was talking about how drug infused their relationship was,
Mhm.
and and they were saying like she would go pay for the drugs, she would go get the escorts, and have these FOs, these freak offs and stuff like that, and she would be the one that initiate them.
I just want to go on record. This is not a laughing matter, but FO is such a like 1990s.
Yeah, it is.
Like
Yeah,
that's that's what we calling it.
yeah, right. But the most outlandish thing I heard this week was uh, Diddy would ask her to rub another man's C-man,
Not C man.
C-man, on his nips. Be
That's
like, bruh, like,
it's really awkward, guys.
what are you doing,
Really
sir?
awkward, guys.
Sir, why? What type of freak are you, man?
Apparently, the big one, not the
I'm
little.
look. I'm like, I don't want mine to touch me, let alone somebody else's.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, we actually did see what happened when she tried to leave. It's a very like unfortunate situation. And of course, now because she's getting the settlement also from the hotel
Oh yeah,
because of how they handle it. It's supposed to be $10 million. Um,
she got 20 from Diddy.
she got 20 from Diddy. She's supposed to get another 10 from the hotel
I didn't
because
know that.
of it. That's what I've read. Now I didn't read through the transcripts or anything else. This wasn't even from the lady that I like watch
Yeah,
or I read because she writes, not speaks
yeah.
about it.
Can you imagine me writing something, putting it out there for people to read?
It would definitely be talk to text, and then
look,
you need an editor.
look. Nah, I definitely would need an editor because it'd be misspelled words, periods in the wrong place. Like, why does he have a semicolon?
I
I thought it was supposed
think
to
you
be
need
the
one of those.
yeah,
Click.
right. We're gonna put
um,
this forward dash in there because that means something. I want to emphasize.
and none of that means anything.
Right.
But yeah, it's been very interesting to see everything that has been coming out in this and will continue to come out in it. I'm interested to see Aubrey O'Day's Lily is singing her heart out, y'all. Like singing. I'm interested to see Aubrey and when she takes the stand because she has been the most vocal of former uh artists of his
Mhm.
about her mistreatment. But then that takes me back to the 90s. What happened with Mace?
He didn't pay Mace.
No, it's something bigger than he didn't pay Mace.
Why you say that?
Because Mace be like, I don't even want to talk about the 90s.
Mace had a good time, man. But Mace, I don't know.
Because remember, he left Diddy and he became Pastor Mason Bethel.
Right. Nigga came back to Diddy.
I don't know.
I just, I feel bad for everybody involved with this case. And honestly, I don't believe anything like the Rico, the is it sex trafficking?
Sex trafficking is one of the charges.
It's something that I don't believe that he's
What church
yeah, he 20 years, and
was
man, he don't got
Mace
all that
at
makeup and stuff to put on.
and dyeing his hair?
Um no, I believe that I don't forget what I was going to say. No, I don't think the charges match up well.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them do, but I don't think all of them. I think a lot of them was a stretch.
I've looked this up quite a few times
What?
because I keep forgetting what was he charged with.
Yeah,
So it was a racketeering conspiracy,
yeah,
um, which included trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and
mm,
obstruction of justice. And they have it spanning from at least 2008.
yeah,
And then if convicted of this, he could face life in prison.
yeah.
The trafficking charge, and then transportation to engage in, I don't know if I can say this P word, institution
Hmm.
is the other one.
Like it's. I feel like he might go to jail.
His own church out for 85 in the cut. Horrible.
Mhm.
Oh, I could believe that. Because for some reason, when people who have some type of notoriety decide that they're going to give their life to the Lord, they then be like, I still need to be up front. Like, I don't know if you saw that Narcos and Banks video of him talking about B. Simone praying in church in some booty shorts.
Mm-mm.
He was like, be for real.
She had booty shorts on.
She had on a blazer and some booty shorts praying. And so he put on a blazer and some booty shorts and started talking about her. Like, it was hilarious. But it's one of those things where people who, it's like, I was in the forefront, I need to stay in the forefront. Diddy might get off and run straight to Bali. Sex trafficking just means you bought someone across state lines. If he paid folks and took them from place to place, it's trafficking. It absolutely is. Like, that's Cassie is going to Cassie and that sex worker, the
Hmm.
guy,
Yeah,
they're gonna be the easiest two
yeah,
to prove that.
yeah.
Um
This is another guy got arrested. He was talking about uh him. He was like, "Yeah, you know, Diddy."
I think a lot of people are just coming out with things now because
They can.
they want to be included. The aging is a strategy. If he looks older and worn down, he might garner sympathy and sway the jury's emotions. It's a common tactic. I mean,
It
Diddy's
didn't
in
work.
his 50s.
It
We
didn't
just
work for
gotta
Bill Cosby.
be who he is. Well, Bill was also old.
Yeah.
But I guess it did because Bill out.
No, that was a technicality. That
Some
was
work.
they did something paperwork wrong. Bill's supposed to be in jail.
Modern dating can be considered trafficking. Getting flued out is trafficking technically. It is. These
Yep.
girls be getting flued out and
Yep. And they
they
be getting
be,
paid for it too.
it is what it
Um,
is.
but no, man, it's the case is interesting in itself because we're seeing like with the statement of don't meet your heroes, right?
Mhm.
Comes into play because these people are human beings, but we as consumers of their product, we don't look at them as human beings. Sometimes we look at them as, oh, they're superstars,
Mhm.
or in Diddy's case, he's a billionaire.
Mhm.
People aspire to do the things that he do. They look at his blueprint of the way he made it. The
Mhm.
ideal that dog eat dog. Did you ever understand what that means?
Mhm.
And so the idea of that, we don't see that part of the billionaire Diddy or
Mhm.
the music mogul Diddy, but now that's opening the curtain to what this dude did. And it's
Mhm.
like now you have to decide, can you again separate the artist from the art?
Yeah.
And for me, I never was a real big fan of Diddy. I did appreciate him being a black man and accumulating the wealth that he did because again, we get to see somebody that looks like us become a wealthy American in a society that's not like we're not supposed to do that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But you like realizing, okay, this man is a man first. Where are his flaws?
Mhm.
What did he do wrong? And you never think about that until it comes to face.
Yeah.
And now you're faced with a decision. Do I still rock with his art because you can't change that part?
Mhm.
Or do you completely like disarray from this guy? Because that's the thing I struggled with watching the Cosby Show. Growing up, Bill Cosby was my dad.
Mhm.
I wish my dad did stuff like, or when I become a dad, that's what I'm gonna do, you know, and stuff like that. But it's like you look at Bill Cosby and then you hear all these stories, and you're like, do I believe this, or what's going on? And it's like 50 years and 30 years ago. And
Mhm.
you're like, no, that can't happen. And then here's somebody else and somebody else and somebody else, and you're like, you don't know what to do.
Mhm.
So now we're
It
seeing
has to
that
be
happen.
even more conflicting for the people that are close to you who don't know about any of this
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah,
like the Keisha Knight Pulliams of the
yeah,
world.
right.
Um, I don't know. It's just, it's definitely kept me like reading what's
Yeah.
happened. I'm not gonna sit down and watch. I mean, listen to everything, but I have my choice people that I'll follow and
Mm-hmm.
listen to what they have to say about it. Um, I know that they still have quite a few people who are unlisted that are going to be called to the stand.
Yeah.
And the reason that they're not listing who those people are is because they fear witness
Tampering.
intimidation.
Yeah.
But I also think it was really sad that his kids were sitting through all of this.
Yeah.
But
We was they walked out at some point, didn't
yeah, like the first day with Cassie, but I'm also like, you can't make me believe that this stuff was going on at the lengths that Cassie said it was happening,
it? Mm-hmm.
and they saw nothing.
Yeah. Um, and somebody was talking about Cassie's husband. I was like, she told him
She had
what
to,
she was gonna say.
but she also met him
With yeah.
in that like world.
Yeah.
Like I think he was he got hired to be her trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and then they forged a relationship. But then she cheated on him with Diddy, so it was just all
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
convoluted.
It's all crazy. Speaking of somebody cheating,
Who cheated?
Keisha cheated on Justin.
Oh,
I ain't even gonna say cheated like, just did something bad, but Keisha went to the prom.
I thought Keisha from The Shy ran my blood pressure up. Cause she did run my blood pressure up when she was stuck in that man's house.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she
But
did.
Keisha from Forever,
Oh.
I'm like, don't give me no more cute chocolate girls named Keisha
Oh,
in a
change
series.
her name. Make
Give
it
me a new
Ashley.
name. Cause
Give me
Keisha,
Ashley or
Keisha
Brittany.
is wearing me thin. If y'all haven't watched
Tequila.
the Netflix show Forever, it's only 8
Bring
episodes.
Moesha back.
It which who came up with the name Moesha?
I don't know. That don't even sound like it came from anybody else's name.
It didn't. And then her brother name was Miles. She
Right.
gave him a normal name, and then
Right.
her name Moesha.
Moesha. Um, yeah, like you were saying, Forever is a TV show on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's based off of a Judy Blume
Judy
book
Blume book called Forever.
called Forever. I've never read that book.
I never read that book, but I have read Judy Blume
If
books.
Judy Blume ain't Frida McFadden, I
So,
ain't checked her
so
books
I
out.
think that it's not the same genre,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
but the
yeah,
way that you be into Frida McFadden books, the girls, the teenagers, was into Judy Blume
yeah.
books back
Oh,
in the
okay,
day.
okay. Yeah, we didn't have books for boys, and I wasn't into comic books, so I just played the game.
Which is interesting because, like we was talking about the other day, Dad's always reading the paper.
Right.
Mhm.
I didn't.
Guess Dad stay up on current
Yeah,
events.
yeah,
They
yeah,
don't read the
yeah,
books.
yeah. No,
We say these women forever be cheating even in preteen books.
but the show that I don't know if you guys have watched it. I know Sharon said
Wood
she
was
watched it.
a great dad.
Man,
Like he played that role as dad,
yeah.
and
I ain't
it's
gonna lie. The mama played the role because
mhm.
the okay for me, right? For me, watching it put me back in the mindset. And we talked about this yesterday. Put me back in the mindset of being in high school, falling in love, and having my first real girlfriend and really taking time out with her.
Mhm.
Um, and stuff. But then I looked at it from a position that we can't. That's the only position that I could look at it from
Mhm.
and relate to,
Mhm.
because the position of being a parent, I hadn't gotten there yet,
Mhm.
and to see how the dynamic between the dad and the son was versus the mom and the son, and the dad and the and the mom, I was like, that's what type of dynamic. That's a perfect dynamic, because on one side you're like protect, protect, protect. On the other side, the dad, you're like, gone through what you got to go through.
Mhm.
You know, see how you figure what decisions you have to make, and this is gonna help you on the next one. You know what I'm saying? Type of
Mhm.
thing, because you have to experience the heartbreak,
Mhm.
and that's what it
I'm
was.
gonna be honest with you. They were going through way too much stuff emotionally to be
Oh
16 to
man,
18. Like I was thinking back to my 16, 17, 18-year-old self. I had a boyfriend. My boyfriend actually cheated on me around that age.
yeah,
Married the girl that he cheated on me with.
yeah,
But when I look back on it, I'm like, I was not having emotionally available conversations
yeah.
like these children are. And it's like you also have to look at it like the underlying, not to give the show away, but the underlying scandal with Keisha
Yeah.
is not something that
Yeah, we giving the show away, man.
well,
But
I mean,
watch it though.
we're not giving the show
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
The underlying scandal with Keisha is not something that you expect the average teenage boy to be like, I don't care about that. Like that's not who she is. It's a mistake that she made.
yeah,
Especially not the boy that's an athlete trying to figure out his way. Um, it's just you usually don't match that type
but it,
with being like kind, understanding,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ready to hear this whole thing out.
But you also have to look at it from a standpoint of the main character, which was Justin,
Mm-hmm.
and his uh I don't want to say his virginity, but his naivete
Mm-hmm.
in being in a relationship, being in a relationship with a pretty girl,
Mm-hmm.
being in a relationship with a pretty girl that's an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
being in a relationship with a pretty girl that's an athlete that has a past
Mm-hmm.
that everybody knows about because he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then being like we say, he
Because
was
Justin's just oblivious to everything going on
right, right,
around
right.
him.
And it's like, why wouldn't he be?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's this is his first girlfriend, first girl that he's like, oh, I have a shot with her.
Because they
Um,
kept trying to get him with the non-black girls.
and see, and that's another thing too. Another dynamic in that is his mom always pushed being with a black a girl. It's like it was inbred. Can't bring a white woman home.
So that's also interesting to me. Like that's another layer, and I'm gonna have to dissect this with one of my cousins. But like putting your child into predominantly white spaces, like
Hmm.
one of my cousins did this with her kids, and now they're adults.
Yeah,
Like putting him into predominantly white spaces and then wanting him to choose the non-existent black girl. She never, my cousin that I'm talking about, she never did that, but definitely one of her sons went with the black girl, the other one got a white girl.
yeah,
And she loves both of these girlfriends
yeah, yeah.
equally, but it's just one of those things where it's like, how do you expect him to go into a situation to get with a black girl and
Hmm.
he's not presented with any opportunities for, because like she was very strict, couldn't go nowhere, he couldn't do anything,
Hmm.
and you just thought he was gonna just find a
Miraculously find a
just
beautiful black girl
somewhere. Yeah.
inside the school or his four walls.
And it's like, let's be for real,
Yeah,
Dawn.
yeah. But first off, I didn't know Dawn is 39.
Is she?
She looked old as wood.
Hmm. Um, Keisha's mama,
Yeah,
I can't remember what her real name is,
yeah,
but Keisha's mama is only 40. Right. That's
yeah.
the
Right.
thing. You're in Beaufort, Georgia, or
Yeah,
even let's take it a step further. You in Winder, Georgia.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And you like, I really wish you would bring a black girl home. Where they
What he
at?
at? That's worth it. You know.
Not even that's worth it. Where are they?
No, like I think What was you gonna say? 'Cause I was finna go another
Oh, I was just
direction.
saying that the lady that played Keisha's
Yeah.
mom is 40.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always like to see people my age on TV
Hmm.
to see, like, do I look that old or do I
Hmm.
look that young? You know, because I feel 25,
Hmm. Keisha's mom looked young.
but the silver lip in my beard make me look 42. No offense, Hubert.
He was not 42.
I know it. Anyway, love you, bro. Uh, but no, it's like the dad's reaction to her, to
Hmm.
Keisha. I think that that's that approval
Hmm.
that you look for from the male, you know, perspective in life.
He said, "I'm offended."
That's the approval that you look for in
Hmm.
the males. You know, you think she cute, type of thing.
Hmm.
But it's a dynamic that you realize Justin he was a little slow.
I believe Justin was
You're saying he was on the
he's
spectrum.
on the
I'm not a
spectrum.
doctor, so I can't.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I know he had ADHD
Yeah,
because that
he
was definitely mentioned.
yeah, they gave him extra time on test. So like he had a capacity issue. Let's
Hmm.
put it like that. And to be in it with her, I think was good to see.
Hmm.
And then of course we got to see a two different dynamics of two different families,
Hmm.
which I think was kind of overshadowed with the whole relationship. But we got to see where there was an absent dad, but not a
Hmm.
bad dad
Hmm.
in Keisha, because Keisha still had a good relationship with her dad. He just wasn't with her mom and
Or living in the
or
country.
living in the country. That's it's kind of hard to be there every day
Hmm.
and see everything. But we saw the relationship dynamic that they
I
have.
felt like her granddaddy and my granddaddy, you said the same thing, but with different verbiage.
Yeah.
Because I remember sitting down and talking to my granddad about my dad. One time he was like, "Your dad ain't no prize."
Right, right.
I was like, "All right, granddaddy, we're gonna
That's
move
funny.
on."
That is funny.
But it's it's very interesting to like the show was really good. Like I'm
Yeah.
happy that they got renewed for a second season. I don't know if there was another book or if Mara Brock Akil explored the entire book in
Hmm.
this 8 episode series. I feel like she did just
Yeah,
because
like it ended the way I thought it was gonna end.
yeah. Um
Or should have ended.
but it will be interesting. I'm interested to see where they start
Hmm.
the next one because it's like a year flew by in like 2 episodes.
Yeah,
But I'm interested to see like are they gonna pick back up at I'm home
yeah,
for summer break or because that's track season.
yeah. But
Or
but she not going to run track. I don't think.
yes, she was.
Oh, she was.
Hmm. She got a full ride because of track.
Oh, okay.
Um, is it gonna pick up at the end of the track, like track season being over? I'm coming home to visit, or are we gonna just explore him and everything that he has going on?
By the summertime of my freshman to sophomore year, I didn't come home to visit my high school girl.
When did you break up with her?
Like it was probably we went to school in August. Probably end of July. I was like, "There's no way
Okay.
I'm going to try to be faithful to you,
Well, at
and I
least
would rather not."
I guess you were emotionally aware too.
I was aware of that. Like in my mind, there was certain things that happened in college that was going to happen in college that hadn't happened in my life yet.
Mhm.
I was like my football coach said you're outnumbered from boys to girls. Noted. And then somebody from my church, my youth group,
Mhm.
they were like, "You're probably gonna meet your wife while you're in college." I was like, "Noted."
Little did you know.
Little did I know that
Wasn't
I
gonna
was
date her though.
I wasn't gonna date her, but that's where that your outnumbered thing came in.
Mhm.
I was gonna be Tupac. I get around. But
You're awful.
I also met my wife while I was in college. So those were two things that stuck with me before I went.
Hmm.
And with her, I was like, there's no way
Hmm.
I would be able to get away with
And she was a
everything.
year younger than you.
Yeah. I'd be able to get away with everything. And if anything ever came out, that would probably break her heart. Because I'm
Hmm.
sitting over here telling her,
Look at you not being a
no,
heartbreaker.
I'm not a heartbreaker.
I remember one of my friends brought her cousins to our house when she was in town. And we were sitting around talking, and the cousin and the girlfriend hadn't gotten married yet. They've since gotten married and had a baby. Um, remember her cousins that played for that worked for the Hawks. April, you still don't have it. Don't worry about it.
Mm-mm.
They came by the house,
Oh
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
I was like, how long y'all been together? And at that point, they was like 7 years, and I was like, y'all gonna break up.
Damn.
I was like, it might not be forever, but just for everything, like they were like middle school
Yeah,
sweethearts.
yeah,
And I was like, y'all are gonna have to go through something
yeah,
before. Cause she was like, I'm just waiting for us to get married. And I was like, that's great.
yeah. We was like fresh married, wasn't
Mm-hmm.
we? Yeah. That's funny. I think of us as like not being fresh married anymore.
Cause we're not. But
Yeah.
okay. Anywho, do you have anything else
No,
for
that's
today?
that's
Y'all
it.
watch Forever. It was a really good show.
Yeah, solid show. Tory Lanez got stabbed this week.
Okay,
I
what
ain't
else?
really care about it too much.
I didn't either.
Um, yeah, that's all I got, man.
Oh, I did put in here that Marva Johnson was selected as the final candidate for FAMU's next president, and she was selected by a bot. And she ended up being voted just before noon during a board meeting on Friday. But um, they had all these people who were just thrown in to be president of FAMU by the governor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still confused how a bot just selects a random candidate and they like, yes, I will take on the job. But I have quite a few friends that are rattlers, and the majority of
Somebody
them
said this could be a lifetime movie.
what?
That whatever's going on.
Oh, with this,
Yeah,
just that a bot can pick your
I mean,
next
if you
school
if you
president.
if you set the right parameters,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it'll pick. It's basically a search engine that does everything faster for you.
No, I get that, fully understand it,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things where it's like people like, nah, they got it wrong this time, and I'm like, I could see how that could be an issue. Like I remember in school, it wasn't for president, obviously, but I was on a search committee to name the next dean
Mm-hmm.
of a college. And we had to go through all of these like applicants and like basically say, okay, not these, but these are the ones that we're interested in. Like we was printing off paper like crazy, going through Xing out stuff, moving them around. All right, you look at this batch, I look at this batch, pulling out who we feel like is the most qualified to even come in
Mm-hmm.
just for an interview. And then for a bot to just be like, this your girl,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
feels a little wild to me.
I mean, of course, you should interview the person because it's like test driving the car before you buy it. You
Hmm.
should do that. Um, but I mean, if the right parameters are set, this is what you want. This is what you say, and you meant it. It should work.
I don't know.
You should be able to pick two or three people with those specific parameters and be like, okay, let's talk to them and see what's up.
But I don't feel like we went through a let's talk to him and see what's up. It was just a
This it. Vote
this your
yes.
girl.
It's your girl. Anyway,
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
it's very interesting. I think that now, especially with um heightened, which I hope the students and tenured teachers give her the business. I'm sure they will, But I'm also sure that she's gonna try to remove people that give her the business.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a thing. So we shall see. Oh, one final update. For almost a month, we have had, actually for over a month, we have had three holes in our den. One in the wall, two in the ceiling. We finally have a full ceiling and a full wall. We
Mm.
just waiting on it to get primed and painted today. And we can finally go back to living in
Hmm.
our
Well,
den.
maybe.
We also have a driveway. They need to come back out here and pull all this wood from around it. But we have a driveway. Now we just got to get back to having grass.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's mud everywhere still. And with all this rain, it doesn't seem like the mud is going to let up anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's it for today. We hit exactly to the 1 hour mark.
Yeah.
Girl child is back on her way
She
down.
about to lose it.
You punching holes over there.
Nah,
No, we had a
stop.
leak in the kids' bathroom and water was getting into the walls. They just started crying uh last month. We ended up getting somebody out here, had to file an insurance claim on it, and I it wasn't an issue with the insurance. It was the issue with the contractor. It was like, bro, just come out here. He telling me all this stuff he wants to change. Bro, I want you to put my wall back up and put my ceiling back up and stop talking to me about new carpet. I don't even want carpet. But I talked to him. What day did I talk to them?
I don't know.
Like Monday or Tuesday of this week. I talked to them and we got them to come out. So they're supposed to be back today. We just waiting on them to come back. Her and his nose.
Mhm. Yeah,
It looks really aggressive on
it
camera.
does. It does. It's okay.
Anywho, you got anything else?
Now, man. You got anything?
You want
You
to tell the
good?
people anything?
You good?
You want to tell them how fun field day was? Okay, tell them.
Go ahead.
There was a kid and there
Don't talk
was
like a baby.
I don't know what she's saying.
Don't talk like a baby.
Anyway, guys, that's all we got, man. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for an hour today. It's Saturday. I don't know if it's sunny outside, but it's rainy here. So, do what you do. Remember to like this video too. Like it, share it, comment so we can um know what else we're doing.
Know what else we doing?
Right.
All right.
Also, if y'all hear anything or want to talk about anything on Saturday, man, just bring it to the table. Let us know. You can follow us on what is it, Instagram at August Love Story. Shoot us a DM. Let us know that that's what you know that happened, and we can probably talk about it. So, with that being said, guys, again, we love you guys and have a great weekend. We out.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.